Alright, howdy everyone. My name's Eugene. HowToBIAB.com. I'm going to show you how I do small batch brewing. 2.5 gallon batches. I'm doing it in a 4-gallon kettle. And I'm doing it using the brew in a bag method. So pay attention. I might learn you something. You know what? I'm still learning myself. I've got lots to learn. Hey, if you think you know more than me, be polite. Put a comment down below. I'd love to hear some words of advice and some words from some experts. Let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to do an extra special bitter like I'm advertising to you, boys and girls. And here is the list of ingredients. Here you go. Here's the grain bill for the complete recipe. Check out the website. Look at the link below. 3.6 pounds of pale 2-row, 3.2 ounces of crystal 40L, 3.2 ounces of honey malt, 1.6 ounces of special B, 1.6 ounces of corn sugar. Our hops, the extras additions here, 11.3 grams of Willamette at 60 minutes. That's going to give it our bitter taste. Half teaspoon of Irish moss at 15 minutes. That's going to help clear it up here. 11.3 grams of Golding at 10 minutes. And 11.3 grams of Golding at 5 minutes. Okay, you got to be set. You got to be prepared before you do your brewing. That's what I'm learning. I already have my fermenting carboy. I have it sanitized. I have it sealed. I have it waiting. I've got all of my ingredients measured. If you want to check out a video, click right here. I'll show you a link here showing you what you need to do before you start brewing, okay? We're ready to brew. I've got all that stuff done on the checklist. Okay, so we're going to get our main pot going. We're going to heat it up to 160 degrees. Here I have a secondary pot. I'm getting that up to 170 degrees. That way I can add hot water to the mix if I need to bring up my temperature. And brew in a bag. You can't do it without the bag. So let's get our bag in there. We're at 160 degrees. That's what they call strike temperature. That's where you mash in. You put your grains in to your boil kettle here. Give it a good stir. You don't want any lumps and clumps. They call them dough balls. You want to make sure water has an opportunity to get to every little nook and cranny of the grain there. Now that we've got it stirred up well, I stirred it for about a good 3, 4, 5 minutes there. I'm wrapping it with some towels. Here you can see I'm still a little bit hot. I'm adding a little bit of cool water to cool it off a little bit. Give it a good stir. Got it wrapped up tight. Now you see the thermometer there. You want to keep it at about 152, 153 degrees. That's where I kept it. It did drop a little bit. I had to heat it up some. After 1 hour of sitting nice and tight there, nice and warm, you're going to pull your grain bag out. Pull it out nice and slow. Let it drain. I've got my little toaster oven rack. Then the next thing you want to do is squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze all that sugary goodness out. You're going to enjoy this here because it smells good. I mean, this is brewing. Bring it back up to a boil. Got the fire going here. Once you get it to a good rolling boil, that's when we start our 60-minute clock. I'm doing my first hop addition here. When you first put hops into your boil, it's going to want to foam up. It could quite possibly boil over. So that's why I got the spoon ready to start stirring things. And if it starts boiling over, I can pull the hops out. If you pull the hops out, the foaming and the rising up will subside and let it go down here. Here we go. At about 15 minutes left here. Time to go ahead and put in our Irish moss. I put in about half a teaspoon. That's what the recipe called for. Maybe a little bit extra. No crime to put a little bit more in there. Here we are with 15 minutes left. Our corn sugar addition. The corn sugar here, that's going to help increase the sugars. Corn sugar, get it? Yeah. That's going to increase the sugars in your wort. Going to give the yeast something to munch on, convert into alcohol. It's going to be a fairly light beer without the addition of the corn sugar. All right, here we are with our second hop addition. Pouring that in, and that's at 10 minutes left. And then 5 minutes later, I did the same thing again. Swirl it around. You want to get all that hop flavor into your brew. All right, so we've boiled for 60 minutes. Let's go ahead and pack this baby up, let it sit tight. While I was doing that, I boiled about 2 cups of water, and I started cooling it. I cooled it down to about 80 degrees. I'm sanitizing my yeast packet and my scissors. I I let the scissors soak in the sanitizing solution for a good while. Make sure my scissors are very clean. I sanitize the yeast packet. Throw my yeast in there. I'm going to give it a little swirl. It's very important. You don't want to shock the yeast. You don't want to take the yeast right out of the refrigerator and then go throw it in warm water. You'll kill the yeast. So you want to let the yeast sit out for an hour or so. Let it get acclimated to your room temperature. And let it sit for about 30 minutes. Now, I've got my ice in the sink. You can use a wort chiller, but for me, if you're using a small batch like I am, 4-gallon pot, 2-3 gallons in there, you can cool it off fine with the ice cubes. Now, here's my method of swirling the pot around to help cool it off there. That way you spin it one direction, then you reverse it. You're getting a lot of good circulation in there. I'm being careful not to slop the wort out, have it spill out on me. I had my funnel sitting in sanitizing solution the whole time. Here is my pre-sanitized fermentation bottle. Don't worry about the foam. Just pour out as much as you can get out. The foam actually serves as a nutrient for the yeast, so it's no big deal. Here I am pouring the chilled wort. I've got the wort down to 68 degrees. And I'm also starting to cool off the yeast. I'm going to get the yeast down to 68 degrees as well. I don't want to chill my yeast down too fast. Once again, the yeast don't like sudden changes in temperature. No big deal splashing the wort here. We want to get some oxygen into it. With the dry yeast, you really don't have to oxygenate the wort so much. It doesn't hurt. Here I am mixing up the yeast goods, swirling it around, pouring it into the carboy. Then I'm going to keep this at 68 degrees in a dark room. Don't want any sunlight hitting it. We're going to let it sit in the primary fermenter for 2 weeks. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to bottle condition it for 2 weeks, and then it's time to drink. I want to thank you for watching my video. When I do have the beer ready to drink, click here. There'll be a link. I'll share the tasting of the beer with you. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Click subscribe. Thanks again. Bye.